The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Welcome. This is the Bostonian versus the book. No, I am not the Bostonian. I'm the book guy, Dave Sharapan. The Bostonian is en route to Boston. So today, I needed a co-host. No one better to sit in the chair next to me, although for some reason, Noobs, I can't see you. There you are. Dan Alexander at Neuby Talks. You got the parade on, don't you? Everybody loves a parade. Are you watching this parade?
Yeah, of course. In true Eagles fashion, Dave, the second before you and I are scheduled to go on, that's when these MFers finally show up at the podium. So I'm going to have to watch on the rewatch. You know, I'll catch the highlights on social media, but you see the heart in between us, Dave. Honestly, city of brotherly love. They're having their parade. We got brotherly love going right here on BVB. Obviously, always love when Perrault is away so that you and I can play. We miss him dearly, but this will be a safe space. No TB12 method mentioned today. No Creighton basketball mentioned today.
Nope.
And the third one is escaping me, Dave, but this is a free zone. Happy to be here with you, brother. And keep the chat going because it's my understanding it's Roll Call Friday, baby.
It is. And, the third leg of that parlay is Patriots. We will not be mentioning the Patriots or Dynasty or any of that talk today.
Once, it's done.
That's it. Done. Finished. You can say it in the chat. You can say anything you want in the chat. All right? That's where we're at right there at symbol Boston versus the book. If you want to subscribe to YouTube channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all the above. Get in there. We will have Roll Call Friday at the end of the show. If you're listening on the Sirius XM replay, thank you guys. Drive safely. There's winter weather all over the place. If you're watching on the Sports Grid replay, let them know at Sports Grid on the Twitter, on the socials, and that you consume the show that way. We're available wherever you get podcasts as well, both on YouTube and Twitter, live every day around this time. We moved it up to a morning show, and next week we'll get to that where Matt is in the Eastern time zone. I am in the West Coast time zone with you. I'm in Vegas. You're in LA. It is Valentine's Day. Today we got a stacked show. We had to go get Wetzel. Scott Wetzel at Opposite Picks will join us here shortly to discuss the weekend ahead, and anything else he wants is on the docket. I'm sure he has probably big plans for Valentine's Day. Then we're going to go to Pittsburgh, get a little Pittsburgh love from the Chris Mack. At the Chris Mack, ask him what the hell are the Steelers doing? What are the Pirates not doing? And little love for Sidney Crosby. I mean, that was really great. We'll get to that, what happened last night. Preview the weekend. Noobs, it's Valentine's Day. You are now engaged. You are making plans for your wedding, bliss, all this other stuff. What does a young man do his first Valentine's Day that he's engaged? You got anything, in the back pocket?
So it was actually last year would have been because we got engaged on February 9th. So like last year on Valentine's Day was when I went, for the hard launch of where this is not only is this my girlfriend now, the fiance for the great Kayla, but man, I'll tell you what, the thing that works out for me is number one, I'm blessed that Kayla, she's not like a Valentine's Day gal. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't expect the grand display of love or anything because it comes hand in hand with her birthday that was just yesterday. So as long as, I don't fumble the bag on her birthday, all is good. All is good in the world. So it's nice. You know what I mean? As long as I at least bring the thunder on the birthday, there's not much expectation for Valentine's Day. We had an incredible dinner last evening, had a great day, did a little bit of shopping together. So it was a nice hang sesh for us. So Valentine's Day for me, man, it's like I got hands free until maybe I'm a girl dad and I got to pull out the stops to show my girls what they deserve from a guy. That's when I'll have to maybe turn on the Valentine's Day charm. But until then, man, easy sailing. How about you?
What's Winnie doing today? Winnie get any
you didn't
Valentine's?
hear? Just a while ago, she was like, "Holy shit, Dad's on air. Let's make sure we go and annoy him." So she was just sitting at the door, just giving me the old. So Kayla has wrangled the beast, and maybe Winnie will be making an appearance on the show here today. You got to stay tuned to find out.
Absolutely, stay tuned. Speaking of daughters, we might get a surprise from a Consig. I'm not sure.
Oh,
little Consig is at school, 5th grade. Big day, last year of school in that school. So, she's queen of a lot of things and runs the house, and she's got a big box to bring home her Valentines that she gets. For us, Jess and I have been married. We're working on year number 21. It's another day. She's working all day, maybe into the early evening. I am doing shows.
You get the flowers at all? Do flowers, box of chocolates, anything like that?
No, not today. I'll surprise her with flowers next week, but her birthday's in
That's
January.
the way to
and we
do
hit
it.
a home run. Yeah,
like
next week.
The consumerism, Dave, doesn't have to tell guys like you and me to be romantic. No. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. They're like, oh, here's another day on the counter. Like, dude, so the school that I coach lax at, Redondo Union High School, they're off today for Valentine's Day. Do you ever remember getting the day off for Valentine's Day? I get it that it's President's Day, so Monday, yeah, you're going to be off. But off for Valentine's Day? No, you're bringing the Valentines for the class. So it's all screwed up out here, man. I had to search high to even find the championship parade on TV because all these Rams fans are too busy hanging their we almost beat the Eagles banner that they're putting up. Yeah, we were the closest to beating the 2024 Eagles.
Yeah, close, but so far away. And that's where we are to this parade. I don't know. Did you go to the Eagles parade the last time they won, right?
2017, which would have been obviously 2018, the end of that season. It was a no-brainer, man. And I always said, same thing. Whenever it's a first for an Eagles, I try and be there. I didn't make the trip to Brazil this time, the first time that they ever played in Brazil, but that's because I was getting married this year. But the first time that they were in London, made the trip for that. Obviously, the first Super Bowl parade I had to be at. I went there with George and Mary Pat. That's my great parents. Me and the doc, we hold it down together, going to these Eagles games and things like that. So all three of us made the trip down there. Froze our asses off, had a spot right there in front of the art museum. When the confetti all went off, we collected the confetti. I actually have behind me, this Super Bowl, news article that we have confetti from the parade that we stuffed inside of there. So after going to the first one, Dave, I honestly told myself, even if I lived in Philly, I think it's a little bit nicer just watching it on my TV. I can see a lot better. I can piss anytime I want. It's not freezing cold. So one parade and it being the first parade, that was fine with me. Now I'm just seeing my man Jalen up there looking all cool with that Kangol hat. So I like doing it from home a lot better. And from sunny California, Dave, might even be my favorite way of watching this.
Jalen's definitely bringing the Kangol back. LL so did it big, dude, with the bucket hat. He's looking good with that. Krakenberger in the gambling space does it, frontwards. Jalen with it backwards. I like it. This is fun, but you're right about parades.
You see, Dave, did you see the Philadelphia love sign? Jordan did, because he's a Jordan athlete. They put the Hertz under it. So that's just badass, man. Like he's inherently just a cool dude. So I'm glad that he finally won, whether he became a glorified game manager to do it or not. The dude won Super Bowl MVP. Read it and weep.
That's it. And I'll tell you what, a little known fact, that love sign is a lot smaller in person than it looks in all of the pictures
not very
on social media.
Yeah, very underwhelming.
I was there in the summer, a couple summers ago. We came out to Casa del Neuby before you made the move out west, and we did all that stuff. And I was like, wait, that's the sign? I thought it was a lot bigger, but it did look great with the Hertz stuff. This parade looks great, but you're right. Parades look great in February, especially in cold weather places, a lot better on TV. You can see, like you said, you can pee whenever you want. You can hear everything, and then you don't have to fight the traffic out. But it looks great, and it's a great scene. And if you guys have been to a parade like this, a championship parade, put it in the chat, wherever it was, whatever team it was. I got a text this morning from friend of the show, Kevin Stevenson, a supervisor, Kevin at Circa, and he said, I was at the Ravens 2012 parade. It was very cold, but it was worth it. And I texted him back and said, well, that's good. I don't know when the next time you'll be going to a Ravens parade, but would you go again? And he said, no, it was too cold. So it's hit and miss, Noobs, right? Like you don't know. You can sit and have lunch, right?
I mean, I liken a parade to a fireworks display. And that's, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, okay, this is sick. This is awesome. I being in that mass of humanity was incredible, but I like seeing it from afar a lot better. Like, okay, you stand in the same spot, they pass by, you get 4 seconds of cheering. Yay. Like parades, they're overplayed. You know what I mean? And it is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The coolest part though is the speeches. And you don't got to be there to hear the speeches. I'm more than happy with having it be a one and done for me. Like I said, if I still lived in Philly, maybe, I'll pop out, maybe see it, but I wouldn't be planning my day around it. That's for sure. Now, brother Robert, he never got to see it because he was out in Cali the last time they won the Super Bowl. So is he there? So he went to the Super Bowl parade. So he's been sending me videos. He's been sending me pictures. So I've been living vicariously through him, Dave.
Well, you guys got to experience the NFC Championship together, which was an awesome follow along.
That's the mantra of this postseason. Belt to ass, baby.
Yeah. And, I mean, if we pause real quick, we might be able to see the Eagles score again in the Super Bowl because they just kept scoring and ran them out the building. So emotions are high today, and the Eagles are the odds-on favorite. The odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl again right now. You're very realistic. You've
what are we
always been. From the time we met, you've always kept it real with the Eagles and where your expectations were. Can you believe they're the odds-on favorite to win it all, News?
I mean, isn't that what usually happens, though? Isn't it like the team who wins, prisoner of the moment, they're usually pretty up there. They're either odds-on favorite or second odds-on favorite. Now, for me, I got to see, do you get some of these guys re-signed? 3 of the very notable guys on the defensive side of the ball. Zach Bond, who was on a 1-year deal. The linebacker was an absolute stud, picked off Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You got to bring him back. Milton Williams, who became a force in that front 4 on that defensive line for them. He is also going to be a free agent. And then the other one is Josh Sweat. And all 3 of those guys could cash in huge elsewhere. So do they bring back one of them? Can they bring back 2 of them? All 3, I think, isn't happening. But you need to see who's the offensive coordinator. I just think it's crazy. Like here's a teach a man to fish thing for me, Dave. If you're looking to place a Super Bowl future on February 14th, 2025, first of all, I'll book it for you. Second of all, just kidding. SEC, don't come and get me. I was just kidding. That was all a joke.
Kalshi or something? Were you Kalshi? Come on.
But you go down the list, right? Like if that thing doesn't have 2 or 3 zeros after it, then you're not placing that kind of future, right? You're looking for the long shot that can get home. You're not looking to place the number 1 team at the top. It's a horrible bet. Eagles lose a couple out of the gate. They were 2-2 to start, and you can get a way better number in season. That's why hey, sports books, just hold on to my money for a year past the next Super Bowl so I can get a 2-1, 3-1 bet in. It's just, don't do it. It's a waste of your bankroll.
It really is. There's so many other things like lacrosse that you could dive into, right? Like there's a lot of things going on with lacrosse. I saw the little
this Four Nations tournament is pretty damn fun if you're betting overs. Like you can get a 2-1, a 3-1 on any weeknight betting a sport and being an underdog better. Like don't tie your money up for a year to do the exact same thing unless you're doing one of those crazy 4-team parlays to win all the championships. Then have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, but you got to put that and tie that up too. So sometimes
Exactly.
I like those to keep you within like 6 months at best to sit in the account
Exactly.
or, so you don't lose the ticket. I mean, you place a Super Bowl ticket. A lot of people come to Vegas for the Super Bowl and bet next year's Super Bowl and leave with a ticket. And I always tell them, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it somewhere safe where you're going to remember it's there so the ink doesn't fade and it doesn't just curl up, whatever. It's hard. I don't think we used to say it all the time. These odds are for people to talk about, for the media to talk about. There's no real advantage right now, especially before the draft. And for the next couple weeks, the bane of my existence is the draft talk. Listen, I like watching, guys chase their dream and the combine and all that other stuff, but it's lost on me as far as the wagering goes. Do you like it at all? I don't get it.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, so what? No. So you're gonna place like people first overall. That's gonna be a horrible bet to make because it's gonna be juiced to all hell, and then something changes, and then you're losing a crazy ticket. Could you do like over players from a certain school drafted? Like, okay, you can get me in on that, but as far as diving into the odds, dude, we got so much to bet on. We got to bet on the NFL draft. You know what I mean? I mean, that just proves that NFL will always be king, but geez.
Yeah. It's one of those things too now that, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the space, and we like to be like a voice for the industry here on the show. And there's states that are pulling back legitimately, like Illinois. You can't bet on the draft. So you're going to have to drive over to Indiana right now if you're there and have draft props available. Now, books, I think, are pulling back the menu because it's a losing proposition for the books. Right. It always has been. There's one-sided action. It's a very limited market. There's way more, I think, availability on NBA and NBA props and different things like that on a night-to-night basis. Although, if you listen to all the experts, the NBA is waning interest. There's a lot of things happening. I mean, you're out in LA. You got the Luka deal, though.
It's poop.
You don't. I mean, you're not all Lakered up like you're. I kind of like.
Okay, Luka's coming. Great. Yeah, let's see how this fizzles out. I just think the NBA has just become just a bad product for me. And maybe that's part of me being jaded, Dave, because I was all Sixered up. And I'm fully out on the Sixers now. I burnt all of my Sixers gear. So I've sent that ship. I've sent the cows out to pasture, so to speak. I'm out on them, dude. So I feel like that already had one foot out the door for me. I couldn't tell you the last time. Not only did I sat and watched an NBA game, Dave, I couldn't tell you the last time it popped up on my TV and I stuck with it. I genuinely, in 3+ years, I don't think I've watched a second of NBA basketball. And my life's better because of it.
Yeah. We have that discussion all the time here on the show, and the Celtics are the Celtics, and they are the best team and odds-on favorite to win. Show is called Bostonian versus the book, and yes, the Celtics are the best team. So we talk about them. We talk about them all. Before we get ready to get Wetzel in here, can you get a hold real quick of Joel? I want to see what Joel is doing.
See if we can get him. I mean, he's been hard to find. He's probably
very hard to find. He's not playing all the time, but I want to see what he's doing for NBA All-Star Weekend because they're all up in San Francisco, and he's not there because he didn't really play. The Sixers are, badly leaking oil. But yeah, see if you can get him and let me know if he's there. Can you get him?
I think I'm going to patch him in. Okay. It's a weird phone thing. It has to come through me somehow. Let me see. Joel, you there? Right. Are you there? Oh, Dave! I'm back, baby.
Well, what are you doing for NBA All-Star Weekend? I mean, usually you're there at the game, you're participating. You got the weekend off. What are you doing this weekend?
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of doing what I've done all year. Nothing. I'm acting like I'm hurt. I'm taking plays off. I'm just chilling, Dave. I'm glad not to be there. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Did you go to the parade? I mean, can you believe what the city of Philadelphia, how it responds to champions, Joel? Does this inspire you to do any more to make?
Forget Philadelphia. No? Those fans, they're fair weather. They want to back me. They want to shit on me. I ain't going to no parade. I'm done with these I'm done with these clowns. I'm 1 foot out of the city already. I'm basically 1 foot out of the NBA. Oh, Sorry, I just hurt my knee again, stepping 1 foot out of anything. I'm that kind of bummed now, Dave.
All right, Joel. Well, listen, thank you for joining us. We got Scott Wetzel coming up here shortly.
The pleasure is all yours. Thank you.
Yeah,
the pleasure is all yours.
Good job, Noobs. Way to get a hold of Joel.
He's kind of a jerk now, man. He's kind of a jerk.
I can't believe it. He owned the city. We were right there, ready to just take it over and take the East. The process all came together, and then they went and got PG. And I mean, Maxi's wasted away. He's an unbelievable basketball player in a city that loves him.
And really, I think the thing that pushed me over the edge to just be completely done with the Sixers is Josh Harris. Not only does the dude ruin one of my favorite teams, like I love going out to Sixers games. I had so much fun going to them. He's absolutely decimated their championship chances time after time after time. And it all started with letting Jimmy Buckets walk. But not only did he destroy my Sixers, he made the Commanders good. And they're going to be like a target for free agents. Like they're only going to get better. So not only did he ruin my team, he made a division rival exponentially better and relevant again. So any Josh Harris venture, I couldn't tell you much about the New Jersey Devils. I hate them too because he's a part of them. So Sixers, Commanders, Devils. If it's part of the Harris empire, I'm out on it.
Jeez, the Devils even catching strays today. You're fired up. I like it. I mean, but this is what Joel can do when he joins the show. I mean, he's a lightning rod right now. The Sixers are barely going to make the play-in. I don't know if they're even going to win a game and get to the final 8 of the playoffs. Hard to believe how far they've fallen. In the East, I think we can all agree. I mean, the Cavs are the number 1 seed, but it's all about the Celtics being the best in the East. The Knicks, are we ready to say yes to the Knicks being real?
I mean, like I said, Dave, it's not like I've been tuning in much, but I still have Twitter. And no, I don't have X. I have Twitter. I at least see who's being relevant, who's playing well. I feel good for our man Yanitsi. You know what I mean? Like he is a true and true Knicks guy in and out because it's the only thing they have to root for there in New York. But I mean, with finally having a big man there, that makes a huge difference. They have the perimeter shooting. It's all Villanova guys. I almost want to become a quasi Knicks fan. I would never do it, Dave, but they got all my boys up there. Like I love that squad. So if it wasn't, if they didn't have New York in front of their name, I would be all in on the Knicks.
Well, I mean, our first guest is going to be ready to talk about New York, everything. I mean, he's out on the island. We all join together to kill it on Sports Grid on Friday nights. You come on, you follow Colby. And then, Cam usually brings us home. We'll do that again tonight. For those of you watching today, we're on Sports Grid. Me and Scott start the show at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And then Neuby comes in and owns 2 segments. It just literally, it's the Dan Alexander, I think about 18 minutes. It's great. People love it. People watch it all over. Is Wetzel available right now? Can we get him in? I mean, while we're talking about the Knicks.
The crowd loves some Wetzel, baby. The crowd loves some Wetzel.
At the beach house, Scott Wetzel at Opposite Picks. Wetzel, great to see you. 1, 2, probably just got done with your workout and everything else, all the officiating on the side and all that other stuff you're doing. I know that. And then, hard preparation for tonight. But we were just talking about the Knicks. And you're old enough to remember when the Knicks and John Starks and that team and everything was happening there. What's the buzz, even out on the island or in the city, wherever you're at? And you always go into the city to do the shows with Sports Grid. Are the Knicks a legit contender in the NBA this season?
Listen, I thought you were going to date me and go back. I remember the Dave DeBuscher, John Lucas, Willis Reed, Earl Monroe days. Cal Ramsey and Marv Albert on Channel 9, trying to watch the games through all the snow because nobody got Channel 9, right? Those are the local New York channels, right? So you had to, with the antenna and holding the aluminum foil, and your father saying stand to the left. So I remember those days. That's why
kids look it up. Kids look it up. And Wetzel's right. Kids look it up.
Yeah.
those was a great Knicks era, and those were great teams. And actually, Walt Frazier played basketball before he dressed up and did the game. So you're right, Wetzel. But go ahead, continue, sir.
Yeah. So are they legit contenders? Probably not. They got whacked opening day by the Celtics by 20 plus. They played them last week and at home, and this was supposed to be kind of redemption and moment of truth, right? They lost by 25 plus again. So in reality, they aren't. So this group is not quite at the Patrick Ewing, Oakley, stock that not quite there. Those teams legitimately thought they were going to beat Jordan. They never did, but they legitimately thought. I don't know if the Knicks fan really thinks they're as good as this Celtic team, but it's been as exciting of a Knicks group and hopes that we've had in 10 years, literally.
Dave, Chef Benny asking some good question in the chat. He said, do they play in the East? Are they the Celtics? Then no, is the breakdown there from our man Chef Benny. It's a strong case to be made there.
Is there a team, Wetzel, to beat in the East that can beat the Celtics?
That's going to beat the Celtics? Nah, not a best of 7, right? You and I, we joke about it all the time. If Donovan Mitchell is the best thing that Cleveland has to offer, then they're not beating the Celtics in a best of 7. Maybe one game, maybe 2, but they're not winning 4 out of 7. Knicks, show that they haven't been able to get it done. So in Philadelphia, I heard you guys talking before I came on. That's true. Any thought about them putting it all together? I don't think teams, as much as NBA players and teams poo-poo the regular season, I don't believe that they could play 500 ball or even less and then automatically turn it on. I just don't think teams can do that. They think they can, but I don't think they can. So the Milwaukee's and Philadelphia 76ers, like on paper, maybe, but nah. That team is low. I tell you, the one guy, and they really almost didn't use him last year because he was hurt, but the one guy that kind of separates the Knicks guys from everybody else is Porzingis. He's 7 foot. He shoots 20 points a game. He took a monster discount joining the Celtics, and he's like that 4th or even 5th guy. I mean, they are so loaded that I just don't see any team beating them 4 out of 7.
Neuby's engaged right now with this Philadelphia Eagles championship parade. He's dialed in watching it. Yeah. Everybody's celebrating.
Anybody die yet? Anybody fall off any totem poles or anything? Any police cars get turned over?
No death. Looks like a couple vomits. It looks like Howie Roseman did get absolutely beamed in the face with a beer can. Inadvertently, when you see pictures of him, he's just got a full-on shiner on his forehead. So an iconic photo is Howie Roseman. I just shared it on my Twitter. He's smoking a cigar and just has a giant bruise on his forehead. True Philadelphia fashion. But I don't believe any deaths thus far. So far under the half there, but we'll keep folks posted on that one, Wetzel.
I wanted to ask you, Wetzel, about parades. When is the last time you went to a parade? Because, the Macy's Day Parade is a big deal. And you had the kids and all that other stuff. Are you a parade guy? Did you ever go to any of the Yankees parades or the Giants parades or any of that stuff? Did you ever do that?
No, didn't do that. I've been to a Macy's parade with the kids when I was working at the 3-letter network Sirius XM. It was right across the street, literally. We just walked right out the building, and we had perfect seats. So I used to take the kids for that. But other than that, no, I wouldn't go to a stanky parade. God forbid. I will say this as far as safety goes. And I was going to jump in with Neuby. We're kind of joking about people getting hurt. I must say, and we've had a few, none recently, unless you want to count the Liberty last year. Actually, they didn't even have a parade. They just kind of got together at City Hall. But we don't have that vandalism here. For whatever reason, we have it like 363 days out of all the other days. Yes, murders, killings, muggings, you name it. But the one day we don't is when they have these victory parades. They actually, behave themselves, the New Yorkers. They show a little class. Believe it or not, you never hear about cars being overturned or burning down this and that. Nothing. It really is amazing.
I got this for you so you guys can see it. You don't got to go to the Twitter. Look at that.
Oh, there you go.
That's iconic. I mean, that's iconic right there.
That's a cigar.
The shiner on the forehead, cigar in mouth. That's a baller move right there. That's a baller move.
Gosh, that's no joke. He took a shot. That's Good job.
No, I can't confirm or deny Dave and Scott if that was my brother who threw that beer can. I'm not gonna get him in trouble.
Allegedly, it was not.
Doug Peterson. One of the two. That and Doug Peterson.
Knowing my brother, he would probably think throwing a beer can would be a form of alcohol abuse. So I'm almost near positive that Robert wouldn't be the one tossing that for sure.
I don't know Robert's arm either, but I don't think he could hit the target. Just to be fair.
You're not wrong. Yeah, not the most athletic. I got all the athletic genes in the family. That's for sure. No, you know.
Yeah. You think about it, what is Doug Peterson thinking today, right? He's saying, this is my team. I led this team to a Super Bowl. I beat Tom Brady. I beat Tom Brady. And somehow another 4 or 5 years later, not only aren't I with the Philadelphia Eagles winning Super Bowls and going to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, I'm out of a job. And what did I do? What was my crime? I won a Super Bowl with a backup, basically quarterback, Nick Foles, and I beat the greatest quarterback perhaps of all time in Tom Brady. Yet somehow or another, I got fired.
Yeah, got fired again.
The crazy thing is there's a statue. Yeah, exactly. Going to Jacksonville was your first mistake there, but yeah, there's a statue outside of Lincoln Financial Field and it has Nick Foles and Doug Peterson on it. So go figure that one out.
Yeah. Wow, he got a statue. Yeah. All right. So we were talking about it for a couple days on Sports Grid on In-Game Live Game Day, which we do every night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Neuby will be joining us tonight as well. The hockey is outstanding, and you said it before the first couple games. You like the game's over. You got a big sweat yesterday. It was 1-1 for a long time, then 2-1 late second, and then boom, the Kachuk brothers took over the third period. The U.S. ran away. The game went over. Finland only got 1 goal. Kind of played out like we talked about. Part one of the question is, did you enjoy the hockey game yesterday? Because you did the show from the beach house. You said you missed a couple of the goals, but hopefully you went back and watched them and saw it. And number 2, how much are you looking forward to Saturday? I can't wait myself.
Yeah, it's funny. Our show ended just before the start of the third period, right? So I go out of the office, I go into the kitchen, make myself a little burger, a little snack or something, and I come back in, and it's 4-1. I'm like, what the fudge? What happened? It was only 2 minutes in. What did I miss? And then honestly, I swear, I said, you know what? This is working. Let me give this another try. I got to go get myself a soda, right? So I go back in the kitchen. I come back no more than a minute later, and it's 5-1. It's just like, oh my goodness, this is great. I hit my over, and I wasn't even able to watch it and enjoy it really. But yeah, and listen, last night's game was I thought better than the first game. Whereas the first game was up and down, very few hits, only 2 penalties. Last night we got a bunch of power plays, we had a bunch of scrums, the typical hockey, hand in the face type of stuff. No fights or anything, but I thought last night was a little bit more NHL hockey than the first night, and so that was good. I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I don't quite understand why we don't have a game tonight, but. Yeah, I guess you got to give Finland a little bit of a rest. God forbid you should go back to back. So you got 2 games tomorrow, 1 in the afternoon, then the USA Canada game tomorrow night. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll see how seriously they take it. It looks like both teams or 4 teams that that are playing are taking this thing more than just a typical All-Star game. That's for darn sure. So it's been a lot of fun.
Is that the end of the NHL All-Star game?
Well, listen, we haven't had the Olympics in a little while with the hockey players. That's going to change. They're allowing them to go to the next Olympics. So you won't have this open need for this international, if you will, competition. So I'd like to think it's the end of the All-Star game, but I don't think it will. I think they'll go back knowing that the guys can play in the All-Star game, and that's right around the corner. So, but, sometimes once you eliminate something, you realize, boy, that's going to be nonsensical going back to that stuff. But maybe the Russia thing will all be resolved by then next year. So can you put 2 more teams in there or 3 more teams? How would you balance it out? I don't know if you can do it next season.
Noobs, do you want to see? I mean, you're a football guy, and the Pro Bowl is not the Pro Bowl anymore, and I don't even know what it is. Are you an all-star game guy, like just in general?
No, I mean, it is what it is. You get to have the little break. They're never going to go away because someone will buy tickets for them and they'll be able to show stuff on television. So they're never going to go away. But for me, not, never really did it for me. I actually think that what the NFL doing is more honest than what they typically would do with a championship or with a Pro Bowl weekend, where they're like, this isn't a game, it's a spectacle. You know what I mean? Like, why are we even acting like we're going to play football? Let's just play flag football. Let's make it a bunch of relay games. I threw it up on my TV, a little bit, and I think it's definitely more entertaining than looking at some guys not trying to get injured for an hour. So as far as it is across leagues, NBA used to be the best one. The dunk contest is a shell of itself. The 3-point shooting contest is what it is. So all of them really, they just have become what they are. I would say if you had to rank them, it's MLB All-Star Weekend with the Home Run Derby, and then it's just everything else.
Everything else. And that's what I was going to ask you, Wetzel. The NBA All-Star Weekend is this weekend. We've been on the show all week. We haven't even mentioned it once. We've been talking about the games. Yeah. So that's my point. Like, you're going to be on over the weekend and working. Are you going to, one, watch it, or two, would you even bet it as far as the 3-point shootout, the dunk contest, or the game itself?
Well, there is no game now. They do everything in their power to make this thing more and more interesting, and I think they get further and further away from the truth, and it just no one cares, right? So now they divide it into 4 teams. Shaq did a draft with Barkley and Kenny Smith, and then Candace Parker's got the Rising Stars winner from tonight's situation, and then they're going to play against each other and figure out who's going to win, and then they go to the finals, and then that's going to be your all-star game, but you have these other miniature games. It's dopey. It really is. And listen, if you could tell me who these 4 people are in the slam dunk competition, then you're a better man than me. I know the one kid from UConn last year, right? But you got one kid in the G League. You got 2 other people no one's ever heard of. I mean, and I don't understand that. I mentioned that on my podcast today, guys, and maybe you could explain it to me. I don't get why the star players are afraid to be in the slam dunk. Everyone says, well, they're afraid to be embarrassed. Okay, but I think there's more of an embarrassment being in a 3-point shootout in which the star players do partake. I could see going 3 for 25 and just, oh man, how embarrassing is this? I can't buy a shot, right? How are you getting embarrassed in a slam dunk competition? You're not making the basket, right? I mean, who's laughing at you because you did a non-entertaining dunk than somebody else? There's no embarrassment in that. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're not creative enough, if you don't get everybody out of their seat, then it's seen as a letdown. If you don't make the social media clip, I mean, the pressure we talk about all the time, like just with the kids alone, just in life, how hard it is to just, you can get crushed 30 seconds after you do something if you open up your social media, like just bam, 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 bam. So I think, between the publicist and themselves, they're like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm good. I don't need to do that. I'd rather just relax and play the game. But you're right. The game has drifted away from what made it the game. I mean, every single year, February was the time. It was freezing wherever I was living most of the time, except when I lived in the Caribbean. And then when I made my way out west, this was must-watch television. Saturday night, you watched the 3-point shootout, the dunk contest. Sunday, you made time to watch Best on Best when they cared and played defense. And that all is gone. Friday night, it's Valentine's Day. You've been married a long time. I've been married a long time. Neuby's getting married this year. His wedding, big event coming up in June.
Nice.
What advice do you have for young Daniel Newbert, a.k.a. Neuby, Dan Alexander? If you're going to get a little wisdom, young man with his fiance, wedding advice or marital bliss advice, give him something, Wetzel, because you're very knowledgeable, esteemed knowledge, a long time.
Yeah. I could probably spin it into 4 letters. DONT. Don't. That's basically, And if you refuse to listen to that advice, give up. Give up is the next 2 words. Give up all hope. Give up all dreams. Give up all expectations. Give up all desires to be happy. Give up and give it all up because it's all out the window after tomorrow night, whatever day you're getting married. It's all gone. And they're all the same. Don't tell me your wife is different. Listen, we didn't all get married thinking we were married pain in the asses. We all got married thinking we were marrying bliss, right? So we all were in your shoes, but eventually, as we like to say on the podcast, you all come back to this side of the aisle. You all come back, and you know what? Wetzel was right again. In your case, it may take you any kind of luck. It'll take you a decade, right? For me, it took about an hour, but hopefully for you, you get at least a decade out of it.
Where was your honeymoon? Where did you go on your honeymoon?
We fought on the altar. I swear to God, we had a fight on the altar doing the wedding vow.
No,
I did because it probably was my fault. I forgot the vows. Not that I forgot. I never memorized them. And she told me 20 times, memorize your vows. Yeah, whatever. I had a bunch of buddies coming in from town because I went to school in Illinois. Right? Yeah, whatever. I'll get to it. So I got it to the altar. I was lost. I was like, I don't know. So they had to. The priest had to tell me the vows, and I had to repeat them.
So you were nervous. Did you tighten up? It's because you were nervous.
No. I never memorized them. And then I brought the wrong ring. I didn't have the wedding ring. I had another ring. I brought the wrong box. Yeah. There were 2 boxes, right? I went to the jeweler to pick up the wedding ring. Don't ask why, but I went there originally and I said, here, clean this old dopey ring that I'd given her a long time ago, right? In fact, I don't even think I gave it to her. I think I gave it to another girlfriend. So the 2 boxes were in my top drawer. So the wedding day, I grabbed the 1 box, right? And I even showed it to my best man. I said, what do you think? And I spent a lot of money on it. He's just like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, he's a dope. He doesn't know any better, right? Meanwhile, he didn't tell me. I showed him the popcorn ring I got out of the Cracker Jack box. I didn't realize that until I got on the altar. So, yeah, it was a disaster from the start.
So pretty much, Dave, stories. Instead of playing Here Comes the Bride, this was what was going as
that was it. That's it.
Yeah,
and it's been bliss ever since. It's been the bliss ever since.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
She's obviously not home right now, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
This is good.
All right, so tell the people.
Yeah,
right. He can talk. We're all good. Tell the people where they can find your podcast, please, and become LLs with all these people that listen to your plays and your picks and your stories, everything else. Where can they find you, please?
Yeah, go to my website, oppositepicks.com, OPPOSITE picks, PICKS.com. Hit the listen to Scott icon. That takes you right to my page, and you get all the free picks are all there and everything else that we put on the website and the podcast. Just hit that listen to Scott icon and fire away. And we got opposite picks later on tonight during our show, Dave, you and I.
Oh, the award-winning segment. It follows Dan Alexander.
Yes.
Every Friday.
Power Hour.
At Power Hour, 9
hour.
o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, Central Time. You guys figure it out. But we'll be on. It's Dan Alexander along with me and Scott Wetzel. And then it's the opposite pick segment that was very successful this season, was it not? I mean, like you did it with college football. We're going to do it. We've been doing it with college basketball. There's a big card this weekend. Will it involve some games this weekend?
I'm doing it. Oh, yeah, definitely on Saturday. Yeah, it'll involve all the Saturday games. So
okay.
I'm going to do it actually now right after I finish up with you, just taking a look at some of them. We finished about 20 games over 500 in the college football, which were phenomenal. And we're a couple of games over 500 after like 3 weeks of doing the college basketball stuff. So it's amazing.
7 games, and go opposite of these plays. There's music, there's yelling, there's I don't know. You call people names in it. If you're this, if you're that, it's I can't get enough of it. So, all right, we'll see you tonight. Thank you for joining us.
You got it, man. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Anytime.
You got it. See you. I knew he would give you good wedding advice. That would be
strong.
That would be good. Yeah. Oh, believe me, he comes in hot.
As someone in the chat pointed out, maybe the DONT acronym, DONT, just means don't do what Wetzel did. I mean, I was all ears for the advice, what he was dropping until he tells me he forgot his vows and he forgot the wedding rings. Like, you can maybe get through doing one of those, but Dave, forgetting the rings, I mean, that's on Wetzel at that point. That sounded like he had opposite picks and the pick was opposite whatever his wife was picking. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yes, I've been labeled by my wife sometimes the definition of insubordination, and sometimes she's right.
Wow.
But that was insubordinate behavior from Scott Wetzel on his wedding day. And just listen. The day is hers. You're the accessory on that
This
day.
is very fair.
If you accept that early and then make the day for you and her, you can really enjoy it. I mean, I had a beach wedding in Vegas. It was great. Yeah, that's exactly.
Dude, so here's the Neuby wedding plan. And typically, we would be breaking down a little bit more, but let's be honest. NHL is on a break right now. NBA is about to be going on a break right now, and it's Valentine's Day, so we can go a little bit deeper on the love here for the folks on BVB.
Sure.
But the plan for our wedding day, it's tacos for dinner. We got ice cream going for dessert. We're going to have a band playing all of our favorite songs. So, I mean, honestly, it's basically a party for me and Kayla and the people who we love most is invited. So that's the way that we kind of planned it, where it's not just, the typical schmaltzy wedding crap. There's our relationship that'll be celebrated with things that we have a lot of mutual loves around. And Dave, I mean, let's be real. What's the over/under on how many tacos you and I are going to put down? Because we got to set that number, and we got to put it out on Twitter for the folks, because you and I might do some damage, man.
Yeah, I'm sure with your food acumen and your requirements for doing your wedding, whatever food's there is going to be good. And me and Jess and the girls are definitely going to be there, and they are not going to be happy with me probably post-wedding if I consume, I don't know, 6 to 8 tacos alone, and let alone everything else that's on the menu. It's going to be over.
Between the two of us, we got Chef Benny with a lofty 34.5. He's throwing out there. I think our man Roger Long with a more respectable total, sitting around 25.
10 each.
So it's
10 each is fair, like 20.5.
JPC saying, is Yanitsi the ring bearer? Who's the ring? What's the ring bearer now? I don't even know. Who is that? I don't know what
Can't
a
find this
Yanitsi
kid.
is.
Can't find this kid. I don't know if you saw the MLB Network.
Dave's Daily Picks. Dan, you're going to be too tired to eat. You haven't listened to enough shows where I've been. There ain't no such thing as too tired to eat. I can tell you that much.
Actually, sometimes I've seen and heard about your escapades. The eating will give you more energy, and they ain't going to worry about you being too tired to eat.
As far
as Yanitsi, we can't find this kid.
What is it?
I haven't.
Sounds like a type of pasta. Nice cavatappi.
Maybe it is. MLB Network is moving their studios from Secaucus. They're moving the studios. I haven't talked to him about that. Hopefully they can find him in the Jersey swampland somewhere. Usually he's in, Brooklyn and Bensonhurst and all that stuff, getting pizza and doing whatever it is he does.
Just look for him courtside.
Well, if these Knicks continue, he will be there, and we might see him. I mean, he caught that ball last year at Yankee Stadium, right? He saved that reporter when he caught that foul ball. He didn't even tell us. I had to see it on the TV. I'm like, Ant, did you really catch that ball? He made a one-handed stab of a foul ball.
Let's be fair, Dave. He deflected the ball. He did not complete the catch. It would have been ruled a hit. In the old days, that would have been a catch because he held it for a second, but he did drop it. He did drop it. I'm not doing this revisionist history stuff. He dropped the ball.
Fair. Okay. All right. That's fine. So tomorrow, there's a lot of sports. I don't want to say a lot of sports because there's not. The hockey is premier games, this 4 Nations thing. But college basketball, the card is ridiculous, and it's long, and there's a lot of games. And there's a game, though, like the SEC has taken over college basketball. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. If you missed yesterday's show, go back here on the YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. You can watch the replay anytime you want. It's available on demand. We do the show live every day at this time, but you can read the chat. The SEC had a little bit of a down year in football. Like it's understandable. I mean, last year Michigan won, Big Ten team won. This year, Ohio State, another Big Ten team won. So the Big Ten is the premier conference in college football right now. But the premier conference in basketball is the SEC. Yep. And they have the Iron Bowl on a basketball court tomorrow. Auburn plays Alabama. It's the number 1 versus number 2 team in the country. Will you watch it at all, Noobs?
I'll be honest with you, Dave.
You can say no.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is an honest show. This is what we do here. I just as much as I haven't been watching, but I will tell you, I've been peripherally aware of college basketball, so I can make my moves come tournament season. I had really high hopes for the Oregon Ducks early on, and they were looking good. And the wheels have kind of fallen off there. So yeah, I won't be tuned in. I won't be locked in. But, come tournament time, Dave, I'm going to act like an absolute expert. So that's a guarantee.
That's fine. And that's good.
What's
Honesty
the line
is
on
appreciated.
That? 1.5?
I will have to look at that. I did not look. I would think it's probably between 2 and 3 is my guess.
What is it, 4 o'clock tomorrow?
It is tomorrow afternoon. Yes, 1 o'clock our time, I think, 1 o'clock Pacific. Okay. I'm not positive. Yeah, I'll have to look. I didn't look.
I don't got the rotation. Dude, there's too many games to find it on the odds screen. But I would say it's probably sitting around like you said, like 2.5, 1.5. In that case, I think in that kind of game, that kind of magnitude, you just lean the dog as long as you're getting like over a possession.
Right. Yeah,
that's the way I would do it personally.
Put it in the chat, boys and girls, if you're going to watch the game.
Nicholas, Alabama is 1.5. Nicholas, Alabama is 1.5. So that's a sheer pass for me.
All right, that's what the chat does. That's the strength of the chat. Associate producer Nikki Ciramello, Alabama's -1.5. Whitrock, I see you working. Bama -1.5. Jordan 1-star Gorov. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
It just means more.
It does. It does. And speaking of that, we are doing a live show at the SEC tournament in Kentucky. We are doing a live BVB. I'm announcing this to you because hopefully you're going to be the one producing it, and you're more than welcome to come along.
I'll clear the calendar for you, baby.
It's
that.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday, March 12th, live from the Circa Sportsbook at The Mint in Franklin, Kentucky, which is 30 minutes from Nashville.
You guys are going on the road.
They're playing. Road show officially will be
March
there
12th?
Wednesday, March 12th. Yes. And then there might be a second show on Thursday, the 13th, in Nashville from Broad Street or something along those lines. And then we'll head over to the games, watch the games, and ideally watch the games on Friday, get to Vegas. So
it's in the calendar. And that's also that's when Kayla's going to be going to the East Coast. So I'm literally not going to know what to do with myself. So me and Winnie will be producing the program. It's going to be a live one. We love it. Me and Winnie will be here holding it down live.
All right, that's good. Put it in the calendar. So we will be there. I'm excited. That's going to be, we talked about it yesterday. There's going to be, I think, my number of teams in the SEC that make the NCAA tournament is 11. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. Nothing that happens Saturday in that game will affect whether either team gets in. But I heard Joe Lenardi say it yesterday, Noobs, and we're into this season now where, we're talking about this quadrant, one win, this bracketology, that, whatever. The winner of this game is the number 1 overall seed. And we'll get the easiest path geographically, which will go through the South, a route from Lexington to Atlanta back to San Antonio for the Final Four. So that's what's at stake. It's not like they're eliminated from anything. It's not like they are ruled out of being a 1 seed, because when they go to play the SEC tournament in Nashville, you can play your way back into a 1 seed by winning it because it's going to be a gauntlet. So, before we get to Chris Mack, just let me know when he gets in here, hopefully, because we got to talk about, some other stuff. Are you excited about the Phillies season at all? Because your Sixer fandom is out, and look at that face. You're really not. You're not on board with this, huh?
No, I am. I'm not. I'm not out. I'm not on board. But here's what I'll say. I feel like preseason for baseball, because it's such a grind. It's so long. It's hard for me. Like, I'm always excited when baseball is back. Right? You know, the crack of the bat, you get excited. It's finally back, you know, spring training going on. That is, you know, excitement, sure. But I'm more excited about the return of baseball as a concept as I am for let's go on a championship run. You know what I mean? Because it's such a freaking grind. You can't get that up and stay that up for an entire season. So for me, I'm excited when baseball is back, simply because it means the turning of the calendar. It's really the sign that like spring is here for me. That's every single year. So I'm excited when baseball is back because I've become more of a baseball fan as a whole, just as I get older. I feel like that's what we all do. We're all like, baseball's too boring. And then you realize what a safe place it is just having a baseball game on in the background. So I'm excited for baseball to be back as a whole, but just like, am I all Phillied up? No, I'm really not. I'm really not. I've seen too many ups and downs with that team that, you know, okay, there's going to be a streak that we can hop on and have fun with this team for sure. But as far as, you know, getting all the Philly stuff out, getting hype, hey, let's buy some tickets, I don't really get there year after year, even though I like baseball more than ever.
Are the rents down in Florida? Is spring training a possibility? Have you ever been?
They go. They go. They usually go and see, at least last year, but actually the past 2 years, they went a trip over there just to see a little spring baseball. So yeah, they love it, you know. But same thing, they're not huge Philly fans or Phillies fans or anything like that. But it's just like, oh shit, it's spring. Baseball is here. It's something you can't beat.
Yeah, I will be in Florida the end of February, beginning of March. So I'm going to try to figure out a place to do the show from down there. I might try to reach out to your mom and dad if I'm in that neighborhood, because I'm flying into Tampa and we'll be all over the state of Florida.
A real nice guest room.
Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Might have to keep that in mind. I don't know where I'm staying yet. A couple nights, because the girls are going to be jumping around. The girls have 8 games in 6 days, so they get their first trip down to Florida for the spring to kick off their season. That's what it always is, right? Like it's a welcome back to baseball, and warm weather's on its way when you're in a northern city and it's been bad. Although, how bad was the rain yesterday for you? Was it bad?
Dude, it was freaking poor. And also, the infrastructure out west, it's just not made for any sort of rains. You know what I mean? The second that you get any sort of rain, you're talking about floods and deluges. But yeah, it was pretty bad here, man. It was pretty bad here. But we still braved and enjoyed Kayla's birthday. So we weren't letting a little rain scare us as East Coasters. But you know how
that's good
on the East Coast, whenever it snows, you wonder, how the hell do some of these people have driver's licenses? That's the version of it out west. The second that there's even a drop of rain, you're like,
without a doubt,
how the hell does anyone here have a driver's license? You know, people forget how to drive in the snow back east. They forget how to drive in the rain out west. It's just a tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme, if you will, Dave.
Very nice work right there. You used peripherally as the word of the day right here on this, and little rap, which, if you have something later planned for Roll Call Friday, that would be great. Usually I do it, but if you can pull something together, that'd be good. Speaking of pulling something together, I reached out to this guy to get him on the show, because he started this new show that he's doing with this guy, Kaboli and Mac. And I mean, it is electric. They're doing stuff all the time. They're talking about Pittsburgh and other things. So if you can find the Chris Mack, and there he is. Who's that in the background?
So, full disclosure here, guys. I'm doing the day job, right? Playing the country music at Y108 here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And this love comes walking in every Friday afternoon to do a hit on the fan with Pony and Muller. And I always got to let him in.
This is outstanding.
They won't give him a key card.
Okay, they don't give him a key card. They don't get a doorman. Our man C-Mac, they make him be the doorman. This is disrespect. This is disrespect, man.
Yeah.
Go
This is
ahead.
good though. But
Go ahead.
Can you see it? I don't
Go do your
up
thing,
close.
Kabali.
Go do your thing. Yeah.
I'm talking to Dave. Sharapan. All
He
right.
goes, Dave,
Listen, that
who?
was great. A little look in
Sorry.
live. You got the Kabali.
No, that was
Are you
expert.
on commercial break right now? Are you on the shift spinning the wheels of steel? What are you doing right now?
I just talk to the people, and so you play some songs and you play some commercials, and then you come back and you give them some tickets. It's a magical thing we do on the radio here, guys.
That's great.
And I'm playing country music with an Ice Cube hoodie on. I don't know. I'm very mixed up these days.
Do you like country music? Seriously, do you like country music?
I like a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff. I'm going to be totally honest. Like when Trisha Yearwood comes on, the speakers get turned down. I'm like, not my bag, baby.
Not for you.
But I actually like a lot of the newer stuff, even though it's kind of poppy.
Yeah. Noobs, are you a country guy?
I'm kind of an everything guy. You know what I mean? Like same thing as C-Mac. Like, yeah, okay, there's some that it's kind of like, what are we doing here? But I would say if you're hanging out like a weekend or even just a little bit of day drinking in the summer, nothing quite hit like throwing on that country music playlist. You know what I mean? Like you have to have, there's levels to these things. You know what I mean?
A good country concert, Noobs. I mean, that is, whew, there's
You're
pretty
right.
girls in short skirts and tank tops with a nice little tan line.
Yeah. You're painting a picture here. You're painting a picture.
Yeah. It's all
picture.
about the scenery.
All right, let's paint a different picture for a second.
Please
What
don't
the hell's
talk about the
going on in
Steelers and
Pittsburgh?
quarterbacks.
What is going on in Pittsburgh? I have to go. We get to get this.
This is ambush journalism. This is
ambush
what you
journalism.
He brings him on with a country music question. Now you're going to ask him what you're excited about Aaron Rodgers. What are we doing, Dave?
We'll get to the better part later and Sid in hockey. And then in between, we'll talk about the Pirates. We'll finish strong because the hockey's been great. What the hell's going on at home? I mean, we have two quarterbacks. We have no quarterbacks. And now there's all these veteran quarterbacks. And I got asked on a show yesterday if Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh. And I was like, there's no chance that Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh. Is he coming to Pittsburgh? What's going on?
So here's the functional question you have to ask yourself.
Okay.
Before I answer that question, is what happens? And this is a ladder here, this process. Step one, what happens if Justin Fields says, hey, I need to go to free agency and test my worth and see? I mean, look, would it be entirely crazy for Kellen Moore to roll the dice on a Justin Fields after what he showed in Pittsburgh for 6 weeks last year? Would it be totally wild for, I don't know, maybe the Raiders to consider the same thing? I mean, there are multiple places a guy like Fields, who had a little bit of a reclamation or third of a season last year, could end up somewhere. There's also an equal chance, I would think, maybe not equal, but a little less so, of Russell Wilson going somewhere, right? So what happens if both of those guys end up leaving Pittsburgh? The door is open. The door is open to absolutely anything, guys, I have to think. Kabali and I did an exercise on our show this morning where we talked about the most realistic options. And Fields is number one, Wilson a close number two. And then you quickly realize that after that, the next most realistic options, i.e., veterans with some leadership ability who, aren't going to cost you a ton because maybe they're on 1-year deals or getting paid by somebody else, you very quickly end up in Rodgers' Cousins land, which is a very scary place to be. So do I expect Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback? No, I expect it to be Fields or Wilson. But if both of those guys are gone, it really does. I mean, Rodgers, Cousins. I mean,
Stafford?
Who else do you want to talk about?
Stafford?
I don't think they'll trade the capital necessary to get Stafford. Unless something fell into their lap that way where the Rams said, okay, yeah, we're ready to pull the trigger on Stafford. I don't think they'd do that. I think Darnold will probably cash in more than he's worth. I don't think they want to roll the dice on something like that. So, yeah, you end up coming back around to like the 40-something-year-old quarterbacks who, and again, I don't think this is necessarily a Mike Tomlin thing. I think Mike Tomlin would love to have a young, mobile quarterback, dual threat who can make things happen, because that's what punishes his defense the most. But it might not be totally his call. When the owner was talking a couple weeks ago, Dave, he was talking about, he just sounded like a guy who thought this team was a whole lot closer, I think, than they really are.
Yeah, well, I mean, we watched the Super Bowl and we saw, I think they're worlds apart from the top. But I saw a bunch of pictures yesterday, C-Mac, of this guy with this long flowing hair. It was not Neuby, but it was Trevor Lawrence. And
Neuby's got great hair, though.
He's got tremendous hair. He got it cut short a little bit right now, but he's
got somebody. Looks good, Noobs.
1950s Bob is what I'm rocking.
It's so good.
I like it. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence in Pittsburgh?
No.
Mac?
No.
That's
no.
all
no.
like all of this false stuff that comes out. I mean, when is Pony gonna put Debo in a Steeler uniform? And it's coming, right? The nonsense this crap that goes on right now before the draft makes my head blow up.
Okay, so I'll address two things that you brought up there. Pony just walked by, actually. I should have brought him in to answer for himself.
You should have.
So the first thing I will say is the first person I saw report the Trevor Lawrence stuff was actually a guy from my old high school, Ryan Burr, who's a Baldwin High School guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know Burr in high school, and I don't really know him now. I know, like, once every 3 or 4 years, he's good for a wacky story that doesn't end up being true. But, hey, some kids are from Baldwin, some kids are from Whitehall. I don't know what to say. They need that attention, the kids from Upper St. Whitehall. Newbie's like, I have no idea what these references are. Sorry.
That's fine. Let it go.
A bunch of inside Pittsburgh jokes. I apologize.
Great stuff.
I love it.
So I'll say that about the Trevor Lawrence stuff. Now, nobody in their right mind, let alone Omar Khan, who showed he has a fairly decent ability to make over a quarterback room in one offseason, is giving up a first-round pick and multiple seconds or anything like that for that Barbie doll in Jacksonville. No, thank you. That's first things first. Let's get that out of the way. You brought up Debo, though. I'm not a fan of giving up too much for Debo, should that actually be a possibility. But, I mean, if you can get Debo for a 4th-round pick, like, I don't necessarily fall all over myself to pick up the phone and call John Lynch for that, but I think about it. This team needs offensive weapons. They're desperate for it. So you'd probably only get 10 games out of them, knowing the way Debo's built these days at the age of 29 or whatever he is. But I wouldn't necessarily run away screaming from it like I would a possible Trevor Lawrence deal.
What do you think about the Penguins? I mean, we got to really enjoy the other night. Mario walks out in Montreal and the roof almost blows off the building. What a cool moment. Sid, 37, doesn't play the last couple games for the Penguins before this. Gets out there, first shift, power play, blind pass backwards to McKinnon right there. You can't make it up.
He's the only person in the world that can pull that stuff off and get away with it, right?
Right.
Like the pass to set up the Marner goal in overtime is like, that's stuff you see guys do in pickup hockey and get mad at them for.
Yes. Yes. Not only did he do a drop pass going into the offensive zone, looped in and had to get back to the blue line to make sure he was not offsides. It's almost impossible. You'd bench every kid that you were coaching or playing with going, don't ever, ever do that. And then there's Marner with an open lane and it scores on the shot. It was unreal.
And not only did he pull it off, Dave, but, like, he made it look good somehow. Like, he's just it was one of those rare Sidney Crosby games. He steps up on the international stage. Team Canada, with him in the lineup, hasn't lost a game in their last 26 contests, I think it is. With Sid on the ice, Team Canada has won 26 straight games, which is insane. I can't wait for tomorrow night. I will sit. Yeah, I mean, with the Kachucks running around out there like the Hanson brothers, it's going to be fun.
Phenomenal.
I will say this about the Penguins specifically. On Cabali and Mac, we had Josh Yohe on the other day, who's been covering the Penguins for more than 15 years for the Athletic mostly. Yeah, Josh is great, and he does a great job covering the team. And there were a couple things he said that kind of stood out. We asked him about
They're not trading
Malkin.
Sid, right? They're not trading
No,
Sid.
no.
There's no way.
That's no.
He's a lifer.
Sid would have to sign off on that. Sid has no desire to go anywhere else, so that's not happening. I did ask him about Malkin though, because there have been rumblings, and you would think he's been injured a lot lately. He's getting up there. He's only got a year left on his deal after this one. Maybe this is the time where he hits a wall. He doesn't think that's the case. There are some people that think Malkin may consider it this summer. I think Gino comes back and plays one more year for what it's worth, even though he's just kind of become at this point just another guy. He's not the same galloping Evgeny Malkin we had in his prime. As for Sid, no, he's not going anywhere. You can see, as we saw Wednesday night, he's still got a whole bunch of gas left in the tank. And they're going to want him here to help bring along the next generation, certainly. The most interesting part of this team down the stretch run is going to be not whether they get in the playoffs and lose in the first round or anything like that. That's the team as it's currently constructed is a nostalgia act, and I'm okay with that. When you win 3 Stanley Cups in 8 seasons, you can get away with that. What's going to be interesting is how, you ready for this one, Dave? Jaromir Jagr gets folded back in, not on the ice, but off the ice. There's a lot of people in the organization that when he wraps up in Kladno over in Czechia this spring, he wants to come over to Pittsburgh, and they want him to come over to Pittsburgh and really take a hands-on role in the organization in multiple ways, whether it's with young players on the ice, whether it's off the ice within the organization, whether it's being a figurehead, showing up for whatever it might be. We've seen Mario, I don't want to say pushed out of that role by Fenway Sports Group the last few years, but he has kind of stepped back. That sighting we saw Wednesday night in Montreal is the first real public sighting we've had of him in a while, and it was very cool to see. But I think this current ownership group, I think they're a lot more comfortable after Jagr last year came over and hung out with the team and all that. I think they're very comfortable with Jagr being involved going forward. Again, that doesn't mean anything for the on-ice product other than the fact that it's Sid and a bunch of dudes. But it does mean, I think, that, the Penguins are looking to keep fans involved, even though the team necessarily might not be the best product on the ice right now.
Saturday, Sweden, Finland. I like Sweden in a low-scoring game.
Yep.
Saturday night, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't give a side really confidently. I'm leaning Canada only because I want to say USA, and it's going to be great. And I mean, I got the Montreal hat on because Montreal is the center of the sports universe for me on Saturday with these 2 games. Who do you like on Saturday, Mac, in the games?
I haven't checked today. What's the total for US Canada?
6.5, I think.
6 or 6.5, depending on where you shop. If you can find a 6, they're out there with the overjuiced, or 6.5 flat.
Yeah, I'm going over. I'd probably go over the 6.5. I heard Messier say it last night on the post game on ESPN. There's just so much talent on the ice for both of these teams. Yes, you've got good goaltending, but there's so much offensive ability on the ice for both of these teams. You can't tell me that this game isn't a race to 5. This is, we're going to get a 5-3, 5-4 kind of game, maybe even 6-4 kind of game with an empty netter thrown in if that's the case. When these 2 countries play, man, it's epic. Like I said, you're going to have the Kachucks flying up and down the ice. That line with Eichel looked absolutely electric last night. You're going to have the Crosby, McKinnon, McDavid thing. That's just unfair.
You can't make it up. It's so good. Yeah, my thing is this: if the referees get involved and give them power plays, we're going to fly over. But if they let them play and just have a physical game and let the Kachucks, push everybody around, however it goes, and Canada answers that physicality without the whistles, we got a shot at a 5. I don't think. I mean, it's 3-2 minimum. I think, right, or 4-2.
Yeah, I think you got to score 4 to win this game. I do.
Agree 100%.
At least. bare minimum.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is why I said it's a race to 5. So
Yep.
I got a hard time. Maybe this is me being emotional, better, thinking about how I we love to go overs, when you got all that talent on the ice. I just think, as great as the goaltending is, you can't tell me that with some of those names that are going to be out on the ice, that you're not going to find a way for the offensive the offensive cream to rise to the top,
And something that I'll throw out there, Dave, because I have been watching a little bit of this Four Nations, is while that first line for Canada is absolutely feasting and the offense shows out for them, they got to get the puck down there somewhere, which is why Cale Makar 1 assist is a prop that I fired on, like -110, -120. Makar gets the ball down, or the puck down there for those boys to eat. I like that. A little hockey assist for Makar. So I got a little bit of something on the ice there for you.
I
completely agree with Mac as far as the Tchucks. I mean, the chemistry between those guys, I mean, you can't overstate it. It's absolutely it's poetry in motion, which is why we got an even money for one for you, Dave. How about Brady of the Tchuck family to get at least a point, assist or a goal, whether he scores it or he gets it to his bro, man, even money. Chuck 1 point. If we like all these overs, someone's got to be scoring them. I'm calling my shots on those two guys. Makar, 1 assist to Chuck, 1 point.
Nothing better than when Neuby comes on for the hockey and takes a shift. Yeah, the Kachuk brothers playing would be like if they let me and Mac get back on the ice and get on the same line. I'm getting a new pair of skates. I'm getting back, Mac. You better start doing the road work because I'm coming back. And we'll do a celebrity hockey game. I mean, we're not celebrities, but we'll go play in some men's league or something. We'll go do it. It'll be fun.
Ice Castle, buddy, right down from your old stomping grounds.
Right down the road.
Bring the icy hot.
Yeah.
Bring the icy hot.
We're gonna need it. I'm gonna do a lot of stretching before. Listen, it's that time of year. It's February, and pitchers and catchers are reporting, and it's been a very, very quiet off season. At home. They really didn't really sign anybody. I'm going in 2 weeks to see my daughters play softball down there. They have 8 games in 6 days, so I'm going to hop around. I've never been to the Pirates spring training. I'm going to make a couple calls, and I'm going to go. But, I mean, Mac, I'm bummed out. Like, they got schemes. They got potential. They're in a division that really nobody has stepped up and want to win. What the hell's going on with the Buccos?
I mean, they're the Pirates, Dave. Look, I'd love to sit here and spin some cliches about how, if Skeens could do this and this plucky lineup can scratch out some runs and no. Let's be honest. The dude doesn't want to spend any money. The money they are allowed to spend, they didn't spend well, in my opinion. The two free agent signings of note, or moves of note, offseason moves of note. They signed 75-year-old Tommy Pham, and they signed,
they trade. A badass. Pham is a badass. I don't know if he can hit anymore.
That helped the White Sox a lot last year. Being a badass. Yeah. Good job, Tommy. Right. The guy gets in fights outside of strip clubs. Good job. Spencer Horwitz. Spencer Horwitz was the other big move. Right now he's hurt. He's out for 2 months.
8 weeks.
They're just they haven't built this lineup. Look, they've got a ton of young starting pitching aside from Skeens. Even they got other guys that are going to come up and be a part of things this year. They've got Jared Jones, who's got a full year of starting under his belt now as well. Their rotation, if they didn't trade any of these guys, any of these young guys, their rotation in 2 years would be, I would not be surprised if it's up there with some of the best in baseball because they've got that much young arm talent coming up through the system and at the major league level. The only thing I'm holding out hope for is that in the next year or so, they use some of that young arm talent to bring in some bats, and that they really plan to hit in what would be Skeens' third year. But they don't have the bats this year, and it is a waste of Paul Skeens in his prime already to not have a proper lineup built around him. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good. I Got excited last year as they got to the All-Star break and thought, okay, however they come out of this All-Star break will determine, where we're going. And they win the games against the Phillies at home. I flew back. I went to the games. I sat up in the box with those guys, and it was awesome. And then after that, ping, went in the tank, and it became another swoon summer in Pittsburgh. Season wins is mid-70s. It's, I think, Pirates season win is, 71, 72? I haven't looked recently. Did they at least go over that number? What do you think? It's been good the last couple of years, but I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, they overshot what I thought was a very low win total last year. I thought it was posted too low. They managed to beat it. I could see them winning maybe 75 games, but to me, that's a shame because that means you're probably still out of it the final week of the season. You have the best young starting pitcher in the game. You should be in the postseason with a proper lineup built around him, and they haven't done that. So, yeah, I mean, 75-ish seems about, but, Skeens, if Skeens has to miss some time, okay. I would never wish that, but young starting pitchers, even someone in as great a shape as Skeens keeps his arm in, you never know when they're going to miss a start or something happens. And again, no offense around them. So it's a 70 to 75 win team. If you can find a win total around like 71.5, like you said, I may think about a little bit on the over, but I'm not running to the window to get it necessarily.
Wow, right now, Nikki Ciramello, one of our associate producers in the chat, said the Pirates win total is up to 76.5 on FanDuel. 76.5. That seems very ambitious, to be perfectly honest. I thought the number was 72.5 and it was hovering there. Might be under 76.
And I wouldn't necessarily smash the under on that one either. I still would probably stay away from it at that point, but like 75 wins, like I said, feels like the right number. And so I'm not touching 76.5. It's just too close to the number there.
Where you've been to spring training down there for the Pirates, is there something I should go, somewhere I should see that if I get there, it's a must visit for a restaurant or anything outside of McKegney and all that stuff?
Yeah. Go out to any of the restaurants really on Anna Maria Island are going to do it for you. There's one called the Sandbar. Absolutely love it. It's a little farther. Might not be within driving distance if you don't want to go more than like a half hour.
I don't mind driving.
Siesta Key is down that way too.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. A lot of businesses down there got hit pretty hard by the hurricane. So, hey, go patronize them and help them build back. But, man, you can't beat any of those Florida Gulf Islands. It's just chef's kiss.
Today's Valentine's Day. I'm going to get you out of here on this. Neuby's getting married this summer, and this is his, last year was the official, hey, let's do this. We're going to get engaged. But this is his first as a fiance for Valentine's Day. You're a pro. I mean, you got married, 2 kids, all the things, romantic guy. Yeah. What advice do you have for him? I mean, because our last guest, Scott Wetzel, came on, and his advice for Neuby wasn't really good for married life. I said, he goes, I got 4 letters for you. DONT is what he told Neuby about getting married this year. So what would you give a young guy who's venturing out on this joyous voyage with his lovely fiance?
Such a romantic sentiment on Valentine's Day, DONT. So I will tell you this: once you're actually hitched and you're through the first year or two, Neuby, and through the honeymoon phase, as it were. My biggest piece of advice: you want to keep the relationship thriving rather than just surviving. I just do chores around the house. That's all they ask for. There's something hanging from the wall that needs to be hung up, put it up. The dishwasher needs emptied, do it. There's take her car to get the oil change because she doesn't want to have to do all of the little stuff that you think to yourself, these chores suck. You do that, that will do 100 times the work that a box of chocolates and a nice bottle of wine and some roses will do on Valentine's Day. Do the chores. You'll never lose her.
That's really
amazing.
sound advice.
That's just strong
very
right
sound
there.
advice.
That's
Take
way better than
notes.
don't. That's money right there. That's money right there.
That's 18 years of trial and error right there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's good.
Well
That's
done,
good.
my
I'm
good
working
friend.
on 21. Tell the people where they can find this new show that's taking the internet by storm, that's taking Pittsburgh by storm. Mac and Kaboli. I love getting the notice on the Twitter every morning when you guys start because it's really early out in Vegas, but you can get it everywhere. You don't have to be in Pittsburgh to get it.
Yeah. Kabali is doing stuff for McAfee lately, so he's got like 100 gajillion Twitter followers. So we stream it live on X. We also stream it live on YouTube. You can go find more at YouTube. Just search Kabali, Kaboly, Kabali and Mac. You can find all the clips there, all the shows. We do a couple times a week. We started out just kind of messing around, talking about Pittsburgh sports. I like the day after the Steelers lost to the Ravens, so we were all fired up. Mark's been covering the Steelers for 2 decades. I've been in Pittsburgh media for 2 decades in some capacity or another. So it gets a little nonsensical at times, but that's what makes it fun. Sometimes we do exercises like the one we did today where we try to figure out reasonable quarterback options for the Steelers and we get sad and depressed. But more often than not, it's fun doing that. And and next 2 weeks, I'll be in for our guys Joe O and Sammy P over on the BetMGM network covering their show, Bet Sweats. So all over the place, pulling triple duty here, my man.
I love it. All right. Well, keep me in mind if you need a guest. I'm always available for you. And thank you for being available for us and the brigade today.
Same.
Appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely.
Get back to work. It's country music at Y108, the Chris Mack, at the Chris Mack, Kaboli and Mac. I love that song, Return of the Mac. That's one of my old.
We can't play it or else we can't make money on YouTube. So no, we can't play it. But Return of the Mac.
Yeah, that was my song.
It's a good song. It's a good song. And also he gave some good advice. Way better. Sounds like a happier marriage going on over there for our man C Mac than our man Oppos.
You already cook. You're already ahead of 95% of the dudes tying the knot because
it's fair.
You like to do it, and the deal you make is if you clean it up, I'll cook it. I'll get the food and I'll cook it. All you got to do is clean up. So you've already turned the tables on a lot of people, guys getting into the relationship. Listen, have one skill and do it good. I mean, mine, I can only say what it is. I can't really say because, I got 3 kids. Pretty good at the title shots, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm not real good at the other stuff. Can't fix nothing. I don't hang nothing. I talk and I work in the ring. You know what I'm saying? That's my talent.
I hear what you're saying.
Cook. Yeah. That's what we do.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, and sometimes that's worth its weight in gold.
Listen, it's worth its weight as long as you can keep training and putting in the work and doing the speed bag stuff. You get in there. You got to answer the bell. I mean, there's no off nights. If you have an off night, you get knocked out, you're in trouble. That means you better go get the chocolate. You better go get the flowers. But like he said, there's no box of chocolates that's going to make up for just taking the garbage out when you're supposed to take the garbage out. Just do the job. That's it. Good advice. Wetzel, don't. Nah, come on.
Not great advice. Could have been better.
Not great advice. Yeah. Word on the street is we're going to have another guest coming in. Until said guest joins us, I wanted to ask you quickly, do you have any big trips left planned this before your wedding? Do you have anything? Because the NFC Championship trip came up pretty quickly. That was a big trip. Right. It literally came out of nowhere. So I was wondering if you did have anything left, maybe in the back pocket or in the docket somewhere.
So I'm trying to think, Kayla, she's got some things coming up for her. She got like a bachelorette. She's going to be going to the Bahamas. For me, it's pretty much just business as usual, getting ready to go, getting locked in. I don't think I'll be hopping on a plane again until probably when we do our honeymoon. We're going to be going to Hawaii. So that's probably the last. Oh, actually, you know what, Dave? It's funny because Chicago John just drops in the chat. How about another Chicago trip? In August, I'm actually going to a bachelor trip that will be in Chicago. So that will be my big trip. I already got Pequods on the docket. We're going to go to Portillo's. We're going to check out some breweries, things like that. But the two main thing for me, I got to get me some Pequod with that lovely caramelized edge. And I got to get, I know sometimes people poo-poo on it, the Chicago dog from Portillo's. Wash it down with some of that chocolate cake. You cannot beat it. So that is something that I will be locked in. I'm going to Chicago.
Okay. Is that a college buddy thing? Or is that
no? So it's actually it's Kayla's sister's fiance. Me and him kind of became buddies.
Okay, good.
It's going to be an added brother into the brother triumvirate. He has one brother. Okay. I have one brother. We're all going to be coming together to be co-brothers. And he invited me to go along with them. So it'll be me, him, a bunch of his college buddies. But anytime anyone tells me go to Chicago, one of my favorite cities in the world, no brainer for me. I jumped at that one.
Okay. Chicago Kristen just came into the chat, and I looked down and said, if a man can make tacos, is a measuring tool for women. Just saying. That's what she said. I didn't say it. She said the best pizza is, what is it? Pequods? What is that? How do you say that? I don't know how to say it. Pequods. Okay.
It was just a misspell. Right. So that's my personal favorite deep dish as well.
Okay. And that Portillo stuff that's not too much.
Out, he's saying that the pronunciation is wrong. Typically it would be Portillos, but no, this is Portillo's. Just trust me. Okay. Back me up in the chat, Chicago people. You're going to Portillo's, correct? You're not going to Portillos, correct? I'm just pretty sure on that one.
Right. Chicago's Kristen said that she's got a hookup for the Cubs rooftop too if you need it. So keep that in mind.
Use that, Chicago Kristen.
One of the benefits of the chat and watching the show live is kind of getting in. You go to the bvbshow.com website, get in the Discord. Relationships have been forged in that Discord that have nothing to do with betting and everything to do with life and different things. Like when you go to City like that, somebody knows you and like, hey, you listen to the show, you're on the show. Oh, you actually produced the show. You're a host of the show. People will know you. And they have reached out. Like we've already got a list of people that are showing up in Kentucky for this live show that we're doing in March. And local knowledge is king. Is it not, Noobs? Like you've told people about Philadelphia stuff that they don't get on the Chamber of Commerce page or any of that other stuff.
Yeah, fine.
Local knowledge is king, is it not?
Local recs are the absolute number one, especially like when you're in a new area. One of my favorite things to do, actually, go to Google, read the reviews, whatever. If you're going to a new town, you don't know anyone there, Reddit is your best resource unless you have
really?
like a Discord like you have. Yeah. So like you'll find super niche, like really local questions that you're not going to find answers to anywhere else. So like even around here, I'm trying to find like, what do you think is the best Mexican in the South Bay? What do you think is the best sushi in the South Bay? And now that I'm talking food, Dave, we got a guest star coming on to the show.
Look at that.
She always knows when we're talking food. Put it in the chat. Winnie's in the house.
Winnie is here. What are you doing? We know where Winnie is on cash considerations. We don't know where Yanitsi is. But if he ever talks bad about that dog, I'm telling you, we're going to have a problem. That is a cute dog. You let her in the room. She looks great.
Yeah, look at how long she is.
Look at this. She's getting big.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow. Will she weigh 8 pounds?
Look at the camera. The people want to see
you.
Look at the camera.
Winnie. Hi, Winnie. Winnie. Look at
you,
that
buddy.
Dog. 8 pounds? Over, under? You think she weighs?
What are you tipping the scales at now, Winnie? She's about 11 and a half.
Oh, she's over 10. Okay. All right.
Yeah, she's tipping them.
That's good.
She's like, Daddy, how much longer are you on this show? I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to go run through the field. She's like that,
Yeah. Chat, I need you to, in 3 minutes, put your 3-digit area code wherever you're watching the show from, because we're gonna go through and do Roll Call Friday. And again, it's post Super Bowl week. Perrault is on his way to Boston, and we'll be there all week. Hopefully, we'll get exact times for when we're going to do the show next week. I don't know yet. He's going to be shoveling snow and doing stuff all weekend that he hasn't done in years. I told him, take it easy. That snow can get heavy. And he's going to be cold and has no idea what is in store. When is the last time you shoveled snow?
Dude, so it hadn't been – this is like the worst winter I feel like they've had out east in a long time. So it had to be I've been out here for almost like 2 years now. So it has to be at least 3-4 years because I don't even think we got snow. It had to be at least like 3-4 years. And I ain't going back. I'm never shoveling snow again.
Yeah,
until we move back east eventually, and then I'll be shoveling snow every single winter.
Well, you'll get a snowblower by then. I mean, you gotta get the snowblower is key. If you have your, driveway where you guys lived growing up, that thing had to be a mother.
But I liked shoveling snow. It was like a free workout. I genuinely enjoyed it. As long as you're lifting with your legs, you got good form. You're not going to throw out the back. So I genuinely enjoyed being a snow shoveler. I
did, except for the slopes. When it was a slope, the driveway was sloped and it was icy, and I would fall or I would hit a crack with the shovel and knock the wind out of me.
The crack in it like reverberates through your body. That's no good. That's no good.
I don't miss that. All right, boys, it's time. Roll Call Friday. Hit your 3-digit area code right now so we can shout you out wherever it is you're from, or wherever it is you're watching the show from. Wherever it is you're going to be this weekend watching the USA play Canada Saturday, because you will be watching that. It's going to be, even if you're not into hockey, if you're into just sports, that's going to be a must-watch spectacle. Noobs, I don't know. Perrault usually brings them up on the screen. We can't do that today because we're using a different platform. So I'm going to do the best I can to watch the chat. You keep an eye on if our special guest pops in.
I have a feeling we're going to get no-showed by the special guest. I just have a feeling. I don't know about you, but I just have a feeling. Right. But we'll see. I got my eyes on it. If
they do, that'll be good. How many minutes are we into right now for the show, for the replay?
Sitting at 1:34. 1 hour, 34 minutes.
So in 6 minutes, you have to tell me we'll sign off because we're probably not going to be done with the Roll Call Friday, and we'll go into bonus time. But we'll hit the stinger for Will. If you have the stinger available, which you do not, right? You do not have that stinger.
They don't. I'm not allowed access to those type of.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll all right. So you give me a count in 6 minutes. It's
what I'll do for our man, because we love our guy behind the scenes. I'll stop the recording. So we'll be live for folks, but the recording will stop at that point. Make it nice and easy for him, right? No bonus time.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to let it go a couple extra minutes just in case they have a problem. Right. Don't stop it completely. But that's good. Will be happy with that. We'll be happy that we didn't really swear too much. Will does a good job. All right, let's start it off. First one I see, boys and girls, is Tyrone Boyd. My man Tyrone, 202 Tyrone. NFC is wide open. Money's on the Chargers to win the AFC. Good luck with that, Tyrone. Not sold yet on that.
I don't know if the NFC is as wide open as it once was.
Yeah, no, not with that Philly team. Everybody coming back. Kellen Moore gone. Go get someone else to call the plays and just rinse and repeat. CBW's at the 315 Oswego, New York, where it's 25 degrees and under a winter storm watch here. Good luck with that. Oh, that snow's coming. JPC the fourth in the 313 Detroit. Joe the Fat Panda. 303 Denver, Colorado. Have a great weekend and be sure to wrap it up, boys. Yeah, always keep it wrapped up. You definitely gotta keep it wrapped up. Dave's Daily Picks, 317 Lebanon, Indiana. Dave's Daily Picks confirmed that he will be making the trip to Franklin, Kentucky to come and hang out with the crew. So there's one for sure. Stevie Fisher, 313 Livonia, Michigan. Snow yesterday, snow tomorrow, snow on Sunday. But just booked the next trip back to Vegas for the last week of May, beginning of June. Hopefully can sign up for the contest. The circuit contest will be available to sign up June 1st is usually the target date. So if you're coming out to sign up and you want to use the Brigade proxy service, do it after June 1st to be sure. Haven't got confirmation yet from Benson, but will and keep you posted. There's Timmy Cooley-Ross. He's in the 2000, which is Sydney, Australia. So our first Australian checking in. Thank you, Timmy. Always here. Always hit the like button on the way out if you could. Leave a comment once in a while down there in Australia. We love those. See those the next day. Jordan, 1-star Gorov, 702, Vegas. Go USA. Go USA. They'll be in Montreal. Whoever wins that will be hosting the championship game in Boston on Thursday. I think we're going to get a rematch. We'll see. Jimmy Football, 416, Toronto. 2 feet of snow, and I have a head cold.
Oh, that's a hell of a parlay.
That is a hell of a parlay. What do you do for the head cold, Noobs? You sit over some
tea,
get a hot steam,
little Motrin, night hot steamy shower, and then blankets and Netflix.
Blankets and Netflix. That's a hell of a parlay. I like that.
That's one that cashes.
I'm going to try to pull that off maybe Sunday night. I need blankets and Netflix.
You might be able to parlay that into a title shot. You don't know. So that's you never know.
Depends.
Never know.
All depends on what blankets you use. And no, you're right. Sorry. Stay focused. What are you doing? You're distracting me here. There's Chef Benny in the 401 Rhode Island. Thanks for stepping in, Newbie. Always a pleasure. Congrats on your birds. Absolutely. Have a weekend, Brigade. Roger Long, senior member of the Brigade, 765, Clinton, Indiana, chilling like a villain. I like that, Roger. Stay loose. Vinny Konwinski, I call him Konowinski. I added an I, but he's in the 260, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Yes, Chicago Kristen in the 321, but she meant the 312. Chicago, cold like the reception I give my husband's ex-wife every time I see her. Don't mess with Chicago Kristen, boys and girls. Do not do it. She ain't playing. Justin McCullough, 602 via the 509. Thanks for the helpful relationship info today, boys. Try to do what we can. We'll see about if we can come up with a lax play for the end of the show from Newbie for the weekend. Deuce Daily, 978, Lowell, Massachusetts. Sports Avenger, 724, Sharon, Pennsylvania. How about a Daytona pick for the Brigade, boys? News, do you partake in any of the NASCAR? I do not.
I do not either. No. You know, if it's your thing, good for you.
That's great. Enjoy it.
I don't like that.
If you do, not a fan at all of the F1. Perrault has gone on the record as saying F the F1 because of what they do when they come to Vegas. That's a bit aggressive. You don't need to do that. Perrault likes to get mad at everybody and yell, and he's partaking in the Valentine's Day festivities for the first time in a while, and his rant is available from last year, the year before. He's known for it for 10 years in different markets and things. I can only hope that him and Amanda have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day tonight. There's Pitbull 59. Hi, guys. 270 Campbellsville, Kentucky. See you at the Mint. There's another one. Pitbull will be there. Can't wait to meet you in person. You've been here all along. Wait a second. Is this true? I just got a text. Is this
we
happening?
Got a guest? We got a
special
guest? Let's go. Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go.
Hello, Kylie.
I literally just had to run out of film.
The crowd loves you, Kai.
Extra.
Nah, the crowd. It's not me. It's the crowd. It's not me. It's the crowd.
Yeah.
They love you. Look at the girls. There's the team. That's the squad.
Teammates. Hello. Kai, is it cold there right now?
Yeah, the wind is making it really cold, actually.
It looks cold.
Really?
Oh, we got double. We got double.
Look at this.
I'm only here for you.
What?
I'm only here for Neuby.
Thank you. Likewise. I only came on because your dad said we might have a sighting from the girls. So that's literally the only reason I came on.
Everybody's being a comedian right now. Happy Valentine's Day to both of you. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
how was the film session? Yeah, how was
really
the film
good.
session? Okay. Are you ready for Florida?
Yes, I'm ready to get out of the cold for sure.
Oh, you guys get to go to Florida?
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah.
Spring break. Are you coming?
I didn't get the invite. Must have got lost in the mail. What the hell? So
Right.
you guys get the wedding invite. I don't get the Florida invite. I see how it is. Whatever.
See how that works? Yeah, that's not nice.
Messed up.
Well, is the snow melted? I mean, you built snowmen the other night. Everything good?
It's pretty like ice now. It's like ice.
Okay.
It's not really snow anymore, but it's definitely ice. Kelsey and I went on a run this morning, so it was.
Oh.
The sidewalks are kind of clear, but it's definitely ice.
Did you say Kelsey went on a run?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Damn.
I was waiting for it.
Hold on. I have to sign us off right now from the Sports Grid replay and the SiriusXM 159 replay. Thank you guys for being here. You stay on, Kylie and Kelsey. Newbie, stay on.
Not going anywhere.
Thank you for. We'll get us out of here. This would be when the Stinger would run. We're going to be in BVB bonus time right now. That would be what it sounds like. Yes, that would be what the Stinger sounds like. So wait a second. This is breaking news. You went on a run this morning?
We did. Yeah, practice got canceled. So I said, Kelsey, I'm going on a walk/run. Are you coming? She said yes, and we left.
What was the portion?
We did about 4 miles.
Walk/run. What are we looking at? Like a 70-30 walk versus
no,
run?
No, it was probably 50-50, honestly. We were running a lot more than I expected.
Wow.
That is great news. Okay.
We got 4 miles in an hour.
That's good. Just do it.
Shit.
I mean, all you have to do is do it. Just get out and do it. What's on the agenda tonight? Valentine's Day. What do you guys do?
We have lift, and then I don't know,
Burn the calf and then sleep.
Okay. All right. Are you going to watch the hockey games tomorrow?
What hockey games? I don't even know what's on.
There's 2 really great hockey games. One being Canada USA. You should watch it because
I might actually.
Yeah, it's a really good game. It's at 8:00 your time, 5:00 Pacific. You did go to the Vegas Golden Knights and New Jersey Devils game the other day. How was that?
We did.
I mean, you are kind of hockey fans a little bit, no?
Well, yes. It was good because the Knights won. If the Devils won, I was going to be a little bit upset. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we got a good question from JC from KC. Any new tattoos that your father and the brigade should be aware of? Is that a
That's
yes?
all Kelsey.
No. It's a yes and no.
It's a not yet, but it's in the makings.
Maybe we'll all go and get one when you're out in Cali. We'll all go get
no.
I'm down, Newbie.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh, God, unbelievable. All right, well, listen, thanks for joining us. Get back in the warm. We'll talk to you guys soon. I'll FaceTime you later. It's been a big, exciting week because we booked the tickets. I can't wait to see you in about 2 weeks. We'll hang out. I'll pick up all the checks. All you guys have to do is play. Just play.
No,
and I get to watch you play.
My ass is
all the checks. All the checks. Yeah, come on. You can come too. We're going to be in Florida. I'll get the schedule to you, dudes. You're more than welcome to come out. It's going to be fun. Thank you for joining Roll Call Friday. Appreciate, love you both.
Hold on.
We'll talk to you later.
Newbie, are you still playing lacrosse? Are you still doing lacrosse?
I'm coaching, yeah. I don't know. I don't do much of the playing, but I'm coaching out there, yeah.
Can you still pass?
Yeah, I can do it all. Are you kidding me?
Next time I see you, we're passing. I'm on my lacrosse grind.
What, are you a lax
recently.
girly now? You moved to the East Coast and you become lax girl? See, they made the right choice, Dave. They got where they needed to be, and now they're turning into lax girlies. I couldn't love you guys anymore if I tried. Like that warms my heart.
She's got a friend, Noobs. Kelsey, tell them what you're doing. Like, you guys go and just play catch, right?
She does like a daily wall ball of how many she can catch without dropping the ball. And I was like, oh, let me try. First day was awful. I couldn't even throw it. Now I'm getting like 50 in a row. Like one time I got 100. I'm like, man, I love this new sport.
You're probably better than some of the kids on this team that I coach. I ain't even gonna lie. Maybe I'll suit up. I'll get in goal. You can rip some shots at me. We'll have some fun.
I want to. That's my next thing is trying to shoot.
Take
Flag
under how
football,
many times you'll
lacrosse.
score on me. I'm a goddamn brick wall. I'm a goddamn brick wall. That's what they call me.
I believe that.
It'll be bricks.
Oh,
We'll see. We'll see.
all right.
We'll see.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye.
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 All right. That was
They're
awesome.
the best.
Wow, that was great.
The best.
They're good kids. They're good kids. That was good. They got out of film session to watch and say hello. So I'm glad they did that. Let's pick this back up and get out of here. We're in bonus time now. I left off with, I believe, Santana, 928 Yuma, Arizona, leaning Canada. I am too. I really am. But only because they get the last change, I think. And I think the goalie's just – the game could go under, and Mac made a lot of sense, and so did Wetzel, and we'll talk about it more tonight, I'm sure. But if they don't get power plays, I think the game final is going to be 3-2, max 4-2. So enjoy the game tonight, Santana. Blue Spader, 702, North Las Vegas. Cute dog, great show. Appreciate you, Blue Spader, as always. Nicky Ciramello, 520, Tucson, Arizona, 69 degrees and cloudy. Hope everyone has a hell of a weekend. Might be taking a road trip to see a guy about a thing in your city, Dave. Up to something season. Nikki, you got the number. You get in the 702, you let me know. It's a done deal. Wherever you're at, we'll find each other. That'll be great. Ian Lights Out, 718, Brooklyn, New York, 36 degrees and sunny. Need this 3-day weekend. Marcella Unda, 504, New Orleans, cloudy, 65, sorry. Parade's been rolling tonight from now until Fat Tuesday. Happy Carnival. Might be awesome. What a super chat. Thank you, sir. $2 and 757 ODU, Brigadeville, Virginia. I heart the hashtag BVB Brigade. LFGO. Let's go. Butchie, the bookie. Down under without the kangaroo meat. Yeah, I know where you're at.
They serve
no one
over
else
at
does.
Burger King. That
Parts
kangaroo.
unknown. Kevin Roper, 601, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 63 and sunny. Pumped for the hockey this weekend and college baseball being back. News, do you partake in the college baseball at all?
No, that's too much. I got college lacrosse to worry about. I can't be doing college baseball too.
It's way too much. But the guys that do it, Noah
they
Beatnick,
kill it. I'm sure they kill it. The same way as me killing it in lacrosse. Like, ain't nobody betting it except for me and the dozen people that are. Same thing. It's genius.
This is true. I love when you put out those little cryptic messages, like with the tweet and this thing, and this number might be wrong, and then it's way wrong. And then you know exactly right. Yes. Yeah. So follow him at Newbie Talks for sure to follow with that. Leanest Crimmage, 705, Aurelia, Ontario, minus 7 degrees Celsius, which translates to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Snow, and more snow. Hockey Saturday and NASCAR Sunday incoming. Again, with the NASCAR, you guys keep us abreast because I'm not watching it and I'm not betting it. But someone is, so do that. Addison the Wrench, 812, B-Town, Indiana, 29 days until F1, a.k.a. Cargo Fast. Cargo Fast, absolutely. Whitrock, Kevin Whitrock, 319, Iowa City, Iowa, 25 and cloudy. 7 inches the other day with more on the way the next 2 days. Fight for that inch on this show. 7 inches always, that delivers. I mean, if you get 7 inches, that's good. That's it. Fair.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, 7 inches.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of guys,
that's
7 inches, too much. It's too much.
Too much. You never
For
know.
Others, it's just, it's not enough. Ryan Coote, small K, 2 O's, 1 small T, 660, Tipton, Missouri. Snow on the ground and nipply cold. Yeah. We use that word in Pittsburgh a lot. It's nippy outside when it's, and I don't even know where that came from.
A tit
nipply. That means it's cold. Yeah, it probably means your nipples are popping out, which happens when it gets cold. Yeah, a tit nipply. There you go. See? Newbie knows. Newbie knows lacrosse too, boys. Keep that in mind. Ross Randall, 978, Amesbury, Massachusetts, 25 and sunny. Today, prepared for these back-to-back storms. 3 weeks till fishing season is back on, but today's work has been cutting boards and planters boxes. As always, hashtag BVB to the moon. Thank you, Ross, for being here. Thank you, as always, for the comment. Chicago John, 312, Chicago. At work, trying to get out of here for the weekend. Hope to see Dave and Matt in Vegas in 2 weeks. Hope to see you as well. 2 weeks, I should be here, but depending on the day, I might not be because I might be on my way to Florida for spring training. JC from KC, 216, Cleveland, Ohio, 27 degrees. I appreciate Noobs wanting to like my good luck message on Twitter until the Eagles were up 34-0. Love you guys. Happy Steak and BJ Day. That's what it is for some people. Enjoy that. Ryan Andrew Fletcher, 703, Herndon, Virginia, 39 and sunny. One title shot down. Another one awaiting. Love y'all. Keep being awesome. Ryan Andrew Fletcher
That's
doing
good
double
stuff.
duty.
Double time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Keep doing that. And, because at some point, Father Time catches up with everybody. Sometimes one is enough. I'm just saying, if you do it right, one is enough. But back-to-back's good. The Juice, damn ads, no YouTube. I don't need Rose Sparks. Sorry. We get the ads on. Things are happening today. Douglas Patton, 978, Amesbury, Massachusetts. Another one, 28 degrees. More snow on the way. Nice job, gentlemen. Let's see. Scrolling down. Fort Lauderdale in 3 weeks. Chef B, maybe we'll meet up somewhere in between. Let's see. That's all I got, I think, for Roll Call Friday. Did you see anything else, Noobs?
We got some lax questions in here. Chicago Kristen asking me, hey, what's your take on girls' game tomorrow? I don't want to give you bad info. Jimmy Football asking me, Newbie, is Johns Hopkins still a lax power? It took a while for him, but Hopkins is back. Are they one of those top flight teams? I'm not sure. Top 10, that's for damn sure. CBW before sign-off. Who does Dan Alexander like tomorrow in lacrosse? Syracuse at Maryland. CBW, you're not going to like it. I like that orange logo that you're rocking. The thing for me, Syracuse has not beaten outright Maryland in 6 outings. Last time they beat Maryland was, let's see, because they haven't played in a while. Last time they beat Maryland outright, regular season, 2009 on a neutral field. So 6 straight losses for them. And now you're telling me Syracuse is laying 3 goals? Give me the Terps plus the 3. Defense is going to be the name of the game. Does Syracuse win? Maybe. I don't think by more than 3 goals, though. I think the game stays under. I think Maryland covers. That's the way that I would be betting it. Take the plus 3, leaning under that 23.5 as well. There's some lax for the folks on the way out, Dave.
Love it. Love it. I think Sweden wins.
Daniel G, 989. Shepherd, Michigan.
There he goes.
Shepherd,
Jump
Michigan.
in there. Thank you, Daniel G. Shovel that snow, brother. He said he's already been working. He's got more snow to shovel, so that's good. Sweden and under, I think, in the first game tomorrow. I want to say the U.S. wins. I really do, but I'm leaning Canada as far as the side. It's a complete coin flip and will be decided by the refs. The game finishes with a minimum of 5 goals, but it could finish with 5 goals, 3-2. 4-2 is a very likely final. And I guess, if Mac is right, 5-4 would be very entertaining. Take the time to watch it.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to be bashing my man Mac, but 6.5 feels a little rich, Dave. 6.5 feels a little rich.
4-2 is the number. It's 6 is the number. So if you, I first thought again, 6.5, I would go under. All right, every day we do the show, we end with the favorite thing about today. And when we do cash considerations, it's always take a minute. It's a very similar segment, News. But what is your favorite thing about today, Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th, here on Bostonian versus the Book? What do you got for the people?
That's my favorite thing about today, Dave. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, I got Howie Roseman up there with a cigar. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. Yes, we are celebrating love. But you know what I love is belts to asses. And that's what the Eagles did all this postseason. Absolutely incredible. What a way to bookend the week. Got to start it with the in-laws being out here. Kayla's parents were out here. They're Eagles fans. We all watched together. I get to end it by celebrating here with the BBB. And in between, I got to celebrate the love of my life's birthday. Hell of a week. 2025, Dave, going to be the best year yet. I got an Eagles Super Bowl, and I'm getting another ring. Hey, no, it ain't no Sixers ring. It's put that one on the left finger, baby. Can't wait to get married. Can't wait for another Eagles Super Bowl. And that's what we're celebrating. All the love on V-Day, Dave. I got a lot for you. I got a lot for my teams. I got a lot for my girl. I got a lot for my little weenie dog here as well. That is the best thing about the day for me.
Outstanding work right there. That's how you end the show with a take a minute.
She's like, why the hell did you wake me up like that? She was
favorite thing about today, she was out. You woke her up. Yeah. Parade day, awesome. Valentine's Day, great. You stepping up, co-hosting the show, get another opportunity to hang out, do the show. Outstanding job again. A little visit from the girls. Thank Scott Wetzel. We'll be on again later tonight on Sports Grid. The show starts at 8. The Neuby Power Hour starts at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. It's a lot of fun, and it's very similar vein. There's a lot of basketball tonight that nobody knows about in college. There's not a lot of other stuff. We're going to preview the weekend. We'll give you an opportunity to fire out some lax plays there. My favorite thing about today is that basically we're able to just keep the show going. You know, Matt going back and going to have a great week with Amanda. Happy for him and happy that we could get together and do this today. So for all of you who were here live, watching on the replay, this has been the Bostonian versus the book. I am not the Bostonian. That is Matt Perrault. I'm the book guy, Dave Sharapan at Sports Beat Cake and Sig. And the co-host of today's show is Philly guy. What do you call the Philly people, Noobs? Is it the Philadelphian?
Yeah, it's just Go Birds. It's just the Go Birds. That's all you call them. Go Birds.
He's Dan Alexander at Neuby Talks. Again, I'm Dave Sharapan at Sports Beat Cake and Sig. The show, Howie Roseman, thanks for joining us as well. At Symbol, Boston versus the book. We'll see you guys on Monday.